Okay, I'm going to try to use the biblical cards here. And let's just see how it goes. We'll see if I can wrangle a reading out of these. But I want to ask, what do these Republic Uglies think they're going to get by basically being in bed with the devil? That's what I want to ask. What do these people think they're going to get by really, got something under here, hold on, by being in bed with the devil? Because that's what you see. It's so anti-Christ, anti-Christian. Everything they're putting out is anti-Christian, anti-Christ, against the message of Christ, 100%. And it's getting more radical day by day. So what do they think they're going to get out of this? Let's see. So it's about, Nine of Challenge. It's about their desires, okay? Their desires, their greed. That's what it is. It's about their desires, their greed. Big harvest, okay? Energy coming into it, the devil. So they don't realize that their desires, that they're pushing, their greed, their ego, has led to them being chained by the dark side, which leads to what? Death. Death. There's no life in it. They want to say they're pro-life, but they're not pro-life. Because they're against giving anything that enhances, sustains life. Okay? So above it, wanting to control the energy, where things are going, power, energy, ruled by energy. And then we have, again, what they want to put into place, the emperor, you kingship, higher than anybody else, okay, about the actions they want to do. So they'll get in bed with the devil. They'll sell their soul. What's going on now is, that's the Republicans. The 10 of Grains, my card for the Republicans. And above it, we have, the MAGA. Republicans and the absolute MAGA family that want to say they're so family-oriented, and yet they close down anything to aid families. School lunch programs, forget it. They can starve. We don't care, okay? Protecting children and getting mass murdered in school, we don't care. We want our gun rights, okay? So the foundation of it is the actions that they continue to fight for, the fighting of the actions of the Magatonians. The challenge is the shadow. They're wrestling with the shadow. Well, they haven't really been wrestling with the shadow. They're embracing it. They're dancing with it. They're in alignment with it. Potential outcome, unfortunately for them, the past is going to come to haunt them. What you have done to the least of these, you have done to me. There is Christ out there with the children, talking about the Beatitudes, okay? And they have no care for children whatsoever. Above it, what's coming rapidly, what's surrounding them mentally. Okay, what's surrounding them mentally? Mentally, where they're caught. And the light is going to be shed on it. Again, they can't get away with this stuff in the end. But they are all about, yeah, the manipulation, the magic. Get in bed with the devil. Magatonians, MAGA, their fight, the actions they continue to foster on others because it's out of their greed, their desire. Their desire has got them chained to the devil. It's all about money, all about status, all about ego. And that's got them chained to the devil. Like I said, they're not just wrestling with the shadow, they're embracing it. But we have the words of Christ, and mentally they cannot get away with this stuff. Eventually, the light is going to be shed on their manipulations. Like I said, when these guys leave the physicality of form, the ultimate truth is going to be right in their face. Okay? And they can't get away from it. All of their dark actions, dark mindset, dark heart is going to be revealed for what it is. And they can say, well, didn't we preach in your name? Didn't we do these things? And Christ says, get away from me, I never knew you. Okay? You can use the name Jesus, but if you're preaching the Antichrist and against his teachings, just because you say you're saved by the blood, okay, it's crap. You're not saved by anything, because what gets judged is the heart and the mind. So we're going to do the clarifying read and see what it says here. What do they hope to get by being in bed with the devil, selling their soul? Again, we start out, you saw me just sit here and go through and shuffle the cards. But again, the same starting point. The feast. The feast of their desires. I'll sell out for what I want. Above, yeah, battle weary. Above it all, we've got this feeling battle weary. Satan tests Job. The foundation is needing some temperance. But they're battle weary. They want to temper everything around them. They don't want to temper themselves. Okay? And so their desires are pushing, but they're never happy. Have you ever noticed that? The wealthy are never happy. They always want to look and see if somebody's got more than they have. So on one side of it, there we have, oh yes, the devil, the one they've sold out to. What they've sold out to. Okay? And the actions that they continue to do, what they continue to put into place. The messages they continue to put out. This dark message. The actions. The message that they browbeat people with. And where they're driving this to. They're driving it to the dark side. The other side of it, we have figuring out the next move, the next action that they're going to do. Above it, their life choices, the choices they're making in life. And unfortunately for them, being hung up, upside down, seeing from a different viewpoint. That's their life path in the choices they're making out of their greed. Queen of Chalices about compassion. But these ones have no compassion, okay? And all's going to be revealed at their passing. Yeah. Greater is he that's within you than he's that's within the world. So they have exchanged their souls for the world, for the devil, for the dark side, okay? Because they want to control the actions, okay? They want to be able to get out there in that fight. Battle weary. They're not tempering anything. Their message is about to overturn others, okay? Moving forward with their fake spirituality, their fake care, which is none whatsoever. The devil, okay, because of their greed, figuring out the next move. The actions they're doing to overturn things out of their greed. The messages they're putting out there, okay? They want to get power. They want to have the world, okay? That's what they're selling their soul for, the world. Yeah. Worshipping the golden calf. What did Christ say when Satan came and said, you know, bow down before me and you can have all that you see here. Get behind me, Satan. Well, they not only bowed down before him, they groveled before the devil. Because it's all about greed, power, recognition, thinking that they're higher than anybody else, putting everybody else down. And that's what they've crawled in bed with the devil for. That's what they think they're going to get out of it. Name, fame, recognition, a big McMansion. Greed. And when your whole focus is just on money, then it corrupts. Okay? When all you want is your greed, your money, your status, it's corrupting. And they have no sense of humanity. They could care less about humanity. But as Christ so aptly said, what you've done to the least of these, you've done to me. Either you love your brother as yourself, you have care, compassion for others. But if you are going after others in hate, vilification, putting them down, then you are doing that to me. And if you think you're going to get to the other side, and I'm going to tell you, you're such a wonderful, faithful servant, you got another thing coming. So they have a rude awakening ahead of them. They may say, therefore, life. Okay? But they lie 100%. They want to say that babies are birthed and they kill them up to a month after they're born. None of that is happening. Absolutely not. Well, I guess that's what you get when you get into bed with the father of lies. You have no problem being a liar and continuing to put out anything to enhance your dark side and your shadow. So what do they get out of it? Really nothing in the end. Because they're never happy. They're never happy. They're miserable people. And their greed knows no end. It's a bottomless pit. It's like being in quicksand. The more they struggle, the more they're sucked into it. Okay? Into this dark drama. But in the end, and you know, time on this earth plane is so short compared to eternity. compared to eternity. So yeah, get into bed with the devil and maybe thinking, oh, I'm gonna rule the roost. Yeah, you think so? They need to think again, because they have become so ugly. Reminds me of that movie where the guy was a lawyer and he sold out to the devil, and his wife is seeing these ones around that were demons. She would see their face and they would change into these demon faces. Okay? They would change into these demon faces. And all these nicely coiffed MAGA women, they all look the same. They all have that same, extreme. They go for the extreme, the lips and the plastic surgery, and they just wind up looking so horrid in the end. They have so much plastic surgery to try to maintain their youth, but really, it gets so disgusting looking. They look like freakazoids in the end. And they all have this same coiffed thing, and, it's, yeah. Anyway, on that note, I'll leave that here. They're going nowhere fast. They think they've climbed the top of the hill and they've really gotten something. But when you get in bed with the devil, he's going to suck and bleed you dry. So on that note, I'll leave that here. Any humanity they have goes right out the door. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you online.